Today we got one of the greatest Jedi of all time. They got one of the greatest wizards of all time. Yoda versus Dumbledore. Who's coming out on top here? Let's find out. Yoda is one of the greatest Jedi Grand Masters of the Old Republic. He trained Luke Skywalker in the ways of the Jedi. Seeing it face characters like Count Dooku and the Emperor, and lived to tell the tale. Despite his incredibly advanced age and really small size, Yoda's an extremely powerful and skilled Jedi Master. He's one of the most skilled lightsaber duelists and Force users in the history of the galaxy. He's amazingly skilled in lightsaber combat. He's even recognized as the greatest Jedi duelist of his time, despite having been trained as a Jedi Consular, which is someone who focuses more on the Force use. He's known to be the only Jedi who could best Mace Windu and Count Dooku in a fight. It's one of the few who was able to fight on equal footing with Darth Sidious. Yoda's gone through extensive training in all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, and achieved full mastery and knowledge of all their stances and techniques. His most preferred style, though, is Form 4, which he's particularly skilled in, as it allows him to compensate for his limited size and stature. Despite his small size, he's displayed amazing speed and dexterity. A lot of his lightsaber fighting relies on jumps and acrobatics, further augmented by his mastery of Force Valor, which is a Force ability that increases someone's speed and accuracy. However, even though he's a very skilled fighter, Yoda at his core is a Force user. In fact, he's so powerful in the Force that he can rival Darth Sidious, and even surpassed Anakin Skywalker. Because even though Anakin has more potential, Yoda has much more experience and maturity in the Force. He's extremely skilled in telepathy, being able to cast mind tricks that can manipulate pretty much anyone, delve into someone's head, and even manipulate their memories. He's also got extraordinary skill in telekinesis. Yoda can easily lift and move X-Wing fighters, stop strikes in midair, smash with the Force push and Force wave to destroy droids and enemies, also adept at using a saber throw. However, despite his great power and skills as a warrior, Yoda was known to strongly dislike combat in general. He's even been disdainful of the idea that greatness could be achieved through martial prowess. So, that's what we got one corner, the Jedi Grand Master, Yoda. But, entering the ring, the other corner, it's the Headmaster of Hogwarts, Albus Dumbledore. Longtime headmaster of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Albus Dumbledore is widely considered to be one of the greatest and most powerful wizards of all time. Dumbledore has shown tons of magical abilities throughout the years, so let's just start talking about him. He has access to a wide array of magic that he can use to attack his opponents. He's shown that he can manipulate fire, can create flaming weapons and rings of fire. He's shown they can use non-verbal magic. He's frozen Harry without even saying a word. And thanks to his incredible skill, Dumbledore should be capable of replicating any and all of the magical spells performed by other characters. He's been able to animate statues in order to help him fight against Voldemort, and these statues are actually able to act autonomously as well, as they protected him from Voldemort's attacks, as well as keeping Harry away from the fight. Dumbledore can operate over incredibly large distances. Unlike most other wizards, he's shown the ability to operate in combat or get a better position and avoid attacks. He's been able to single-handedly defeat 3 highly skilled wizards with ease. He's able to defeat a large group of Death Eaters. Like we said from the beginning, Dumbledore is one of the most powerful wizards ever, and his duel of Grindelwald was said to have been the greatest duel to ever have occurred, and his mere presence on the battlefield was enough to terrify Death Eaters into running away. Dumbledore is incredibly intelligent, and actually graduated from Hogwarts with every prize that the school offered. He also possesses the Elder Wand, which is one of the fabled Deathly Hallows, and the most powerful wand in the history of wizardkind. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, this is a fight that you can argue about for hours on end. It actually leads into the even greater and even grander discussion of Jedi versus Wizard. Plus, Yoda and Dumbledore are the 2 sages in their stories, the ones who are there to guide and encourage the hero. So the fight makes sense in that regard too. So who's coming out on top here? Well, let's find out. And starting out, Yoda is definitely physically superior here, because Yoda has an ability called Force Valor, which is basically an umbrella term that encompasses increasing all your physical abilities with the Force, so to include things like Force Speed, Force Jump, etc. Yoda is actually the best at this, possessing unparalleled and unrivaled skill in this area. When it comes to strength, when his fight against Darth Sidious, Sidious was having a difficult time keeping Yoda at bay, with as much pressure by the Jedi's strength as he was of Yoda's speed. This is made all the more impressive as Darth Sidious has easily toyed with the combined strength of the monstrously powerful Darth Maul and Savage Opress. He survived being blasted Sidious's Force Lightning, and is easily fast enough to dodge and deflect blaster bolts. During a sparring session, while unarmed, he was actually able to evade Plo Koon and Sassy 10, highly skilled Jedi Masters, and really showed off his incredible agility and timing. He's also fought against Count Dooku quickly enough to produce after homages. When he fought Darth Sidious, they were described as a tornado. Yoda even showed that he can react fast to deflect blows from Palpatine, who can move his lightsaber too fast for Anakin Skywalker to even see. So yeah, Yoda is definitely physically superior to Dumbledore. But to be fair to Albus, despite his old age, it's been said that he has the agility of someone much younger than himself. He's even sped past Harry and Neville, is able to draw his wand and cast a spell so fast that Harry can barely see it. But with that being said, Yoda is definitely still physically superior, and he's definitely still faster. But honestly, that was never really in question here. The real question is, how does Yoda's lightsaber and his Force abilities play off against Dumbledore's magic? Well, first off, what is Dumbledore capable of with his magic? Well, unlike most other wizards, Dumbledore has shown the ability to apparate in combat or get a better position and avoid attacks. During his battle with Voldemort, Dumbledore made rather liberal use of the statues in the Ministry of Magic, animated them to help him in a fight, and they even acted autonomously in order to protect him from Voldemort's attacks, protect Harry as well. Dumbledore has access to a wide array of magic he can use to attack his opponents. A particularly notable example will be an unnamed spell that he uses against Voldemort. Harry feels his hair stand on end as it passes by, despite being shielded from it by a statue, and Voldemort is forced to conjure a shield to defend himself from it. He's shown the ability to manipulate fire, is able to simultaneously counter Voldemort's fire snake and encase him in a ball of water, and extremely proficient in non-verbal magic. Plus, given his incredible skill, it's safe to say that Dumbledore should be capable of replicating most, if not all, of the spells we've seen other characters perform in Harry Potter. He's able to single-handedly defeat 3 wizards with ease and casually take down a large group of Death Eaters. His mere presence on the battlefield has terrified Death Eaters into running away, and Dumbledore's duel of Grindelwald is said to have been the greatest duel to have ever occurred, with those who witnessed it writing the awe that they felt as they watched it. But on the other hand, well, we need to talk about Yoda's lightsaber and the Force. Yoda is a legendary lightsaber duelist, actually the greatest duelist in the entire Jedi Order. He's a master of all 7 different forms of lightsaber fighting, and his fighting tactics, in combination with the Force abilities, allow him to overcome virtually any opponent. Yoda has routinely bested Mace Windu in sparring matches. According to Darth Sidious, he would have injured Anakin on Mustafar far worse than Obi-Wan Kenobi did. He's defeated an entire battalion of battle droids, a battalion consisting of 750 to 1,000 droids, and he's even defeated the dreaded Terran Tactic on Kashyyyk, which are Force-resistant creatures, are supposed to have required teams of Jedi in order to defeat them. Probably most impressively, Yoda's even able to best Count Dooku on multiple occasions, even when they were battling in the middle of a dark side nexus. He's also battled against Darth Sidious, and even though the Emperor did win the fight, Palpatine is the most powerful Sith Lord in all of history, and Yoda was only slightly behind, being able to effectively match him both in lightsaber combat and with the Force. Now, Yoda is stated to be the most powerful lightsaber user in the Jedi Order, second only to Anakin Skywalker in raw ability and potential, and Count Dooku actually said that Yoda ever wanted to turn to the dark side, well, he could have annihilated the likes of even Lord Palpatine. He's used telekinesis to create avalanches, supported Assad Venture's ship through the Force, and he's even altered and pushed around starships in hundreds of droidicas. He used his telepathy to read Count Dooku's thoughts and emotions and penetrate Obi-Wan's mind. He's even sensed Anakin's anguish from all the way across the galaxy. Yoda's also absorbed and deflected Count Dooku's lightning, absorbed and deflected Sidious's lightning. He's even got an ability called Force Light, which is an especially powerful light side attack that grants him the ability to create light from the Force to dispel both literal darkness and the powers of dark side users. He's been able to effortlessly restrain and slay disarm Ventress. He's thrown back multiple Jedi at once, and even thrown back Darth Sidious. So with all that being said, how do all these things play off each other? Well, Yoda's already shown that he's able to block and redirect energy attacks, Force Lightning with the Force. And at some level, magic just has to be a form of energy. Even if Yoda can't block them, spells seem to move at an even slower speed than blaster bolts, considering that Harry and others have physically dodged them throughout the series. And Yoda has dodged countless blaster bolts in the past. Of course, not all magic in Harry Potter is just energy blast, and Dumbledore is definitely going to use all that versatility. But again, that plays into Yoda's speed and even his precognitive abilities, as he's able to sense attacks before Dumbledore actually performs them, just like he sensed the clones were able to shoot before they actually shot. There's also just Dumbledore's wand. He's got to channel his magic through the wand, and Yoda can so easily disarm him with the Force, just like he's disarmed Jedi and Sith in the past. Then there's even just Yoda's lightsaber. Dumbledore basically has to fight at a range. That's what almost every duel in Harry Potter boils down to. But Yoda doesn't have to fight that way. He can if he needs to, and he's done it in the past with the Force. But Yoda can also fight up close with his lightsaber, and Dumbledore really has no answer to that. So, end of the day, who's coming out on top here? Well, it's Yoda. Yoda is hundreds of years old, and practicing with the Force for all of them. He has experience edge, he has precognition, he's faster and more agile, can more than likely block Dumbledore's magic with the Force, and there's really no answer for the lightsaber. So yeah, Yoda's coming out on top here. Yoda wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts. Sound off in the comments down below. Also be sure that like button, subscribe button, turn notification on the DanCo army, and I will see you next time.